Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake up.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
React content yet,
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
Oh my god, thank god. Okay. Oh, that was just a dream. Oh my god. What's this? No.
Wake up,
No,
Ethan.
no, no.
Wake up, Ethan.
No! After a whole year, I have finally risen from the dead. Hi guys, I'm alive, and honestly, I don't know where the fuck to begin with this whole shit show. idubbbz is back in business, and he's already taking a sharp turn and crashing into a fucking wall, bro. I was excited for the new content cop. Until, funnily enough, I saw the actual contents of the video and just, no, Ian, no. So I'm back to talk about the latest content cop that was made on H3H3, as well as Ethan's response to Ian's content cop on him. Just as a disclaimer, I am not getting into all the messy politics here because I, first of all, don't really like politics all that much, and I know the kind of people talking about it attracts, so we're steering clear of that. What I do want to talk about is just how bad the new content cop is and the drama it sparked, so let's get into it, shall we? Firstly, my biggest issue with this content cop is, well, it's not really a content cop. Don't be fooled by the fact that Ian is, in fact, talking about Ethan's actions and his recent content. That's just to fool you, you fools. Now, what this content cop is really about is Ian's personal beef with Ethan, and about the beef he has with the colorful cast of, politically inclined streamers, as he put it, that he brought into this video. You might as well just fucking call this drama alert at this point. Ian is there to be the hero who speaks up for these adults who most definitely can speak up for themselves instead of hiding behind Ian. But if you want my honest opinion, I think they know a lot of people dislike them right now, and so they chose Ian because he was considered respected before. Emphasis on before. Well, that didn't really work out too well for them. Ian's intentions are pretty clear as he literally starts out the talking section by bringing up his own personal grievances with Ethan first before anything else. He's bothered by Ethan calling him out, and when I first watched the video, I thought he did have some good points about Ethan. However, I was fooled too because I didn't know the full context of the clips he was taking from Ethan's podcast. Anyways, he does go into quite a lot of politics, mostly to put Hassan, Denims, Frogan, and the others up on this pedestal of morality to make Ethan look bad for not talking about important political matters, or I guess not being as politically inclined as the people I just mentioned. I feel like this is a stretch considering Ian doesn't know what Ethan may or may not know about what's going on in today's world. He's not inside Ethan's head. It was just a really weird point, and again, I think he just wants to make Ethan look like he's kind of aloof, maybe so people don't take him as seriously. I really don't know. He brings up things like that Ethan was harassing these creators that he's trying to stand up for, and that Ethan apparently needs a good ass whooping. Which, honestly, can we just talk about this part for a second? Ian flip-flops between saying he's trying to make a fair video to just wanting to dog on Ethan.
When Psychology in Seattle was watching these video clips of Ethan, he said that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug. Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that shit, because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. I think something that's very important to me in bringing back Content Cop is to be fair. I think that was something that was not illustrated in previous content cops that I think should have been, and probably wouldn't have left me with so much regret. Ethan deserves all of the criticism that he's getting. I think it's very valid. But I also think, at the end of the day, we should acknowledge that he's human, because he is human. And he is in a situation that's making him extremely scared, paranoid, defensive, sensitive, and I'm sure other features and feelings. In the spirit of Kirk saying that it looks like Ethan could just use a hug, I have challenged some of his most powerful haters to put down the haterade and just say something nice and charitable about him, because I think he deserves it.
I didn't edit this part. This is literally how he framed it in his video. It's so obvious he's just pissed off with how Ethan called him out. And like I said, at first, I really did think it was shitty. I was thinking, man, asking your friend to stand up for you or else you're not really his friend is such a transactional relationship to have in a friendship. But then Ethan came out with his own video. So Ethan responded with his own video, keeping it short. As he put it, he didn't really need an hour to explain his side of things because there was something Ian did in his video that completely unraveled the whole thing. And that was not mentioning the whole CPS call on Ethan. A guy named Bad Empanada allegedly is the one who called CPS, and Denims allegedly promoted it on her stream. Allegedly. Not once did Ian address this, and it's not like he didn't know because, as I teased before, Ian was taking clips from Ethan's podcast, right? Well, as it turns out, most of the clips came from a stream where Ethan was talking about how CPS was called on them to try and get his child taken from him. Every time Ian was criticizing Ethan for ragging on these content creators, he was expressing how angry he was that CPS was called on them, which, yeah, like no shit, I would be pretty pissed off by that too. As far as I know, there's no evidence that Ethan was neglecting his child, so why CPS was called in the first place, I'll never know. Denims also had this to say about the CPS call.
Create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes you are. No, you're not. When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff. But even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
Girl, are you serious? Okay, so by your own logic then, it shouldn't matter if a child gets horribly abused because they will have no memory of it, and therefore, no trauma. It's fine, everything's okay. Listen to yourself. That makes no sense. It's not even factual. Like, infants and babies can be affected by things going on around them and can form trauma. I'm not sure where you're getting this information from. Going back to Ian's content cop though, he knew this happened, and yet he danced around the topic. He didn't once mention this or condemn people for falsely calling CPS on Ethan. He just completely leaves out the information about this, and it looks really bad. It looks legitimately terrible. And on top of that, calling Ethan the harasser, just talking shit online about someone you're justifiably angry at isn't harassment, dude. Sending the police to someone's house just because you don't like them and you want to ruin their life, however, is harassment. All in all, the new content cop felt like Ian was airing out his own dirty laundry, as well as the dirty laundry of the other content creators that he brought on. I'm sure there is plenty to criticize Ethan over, but that's just not what this was. He made very little point to criticize Ethan's actual content, which is funny because, like Ian said ages ago when he disowned Content Cop, he didn't like his own videos because he felt like it was bullying, like it was mean-spirited. Then what the fuck do you call this? He even brings on this psychologist to try and change Ethan's score for some old apology video because he wants to rag on Ethan so badly.
But I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change his grade, but it's worth trying. and, you know, we might learn a thing or two.
And don't be fooled by the ending of the video where all of these Ethan haters say something nice about Ethan, because as one of them said, if I knew I could have opted out, I would have, because he didn't actually want to force himself to say something nice.
We're watching Hassan watch it, and like, I want you Hassan watch it, and Hassan doesn't have a nice thing about Ethan. And the chat asked what I'm thinking. I'm like, wait, you didn't do a nice thing about Ethan? And he was like, no. And I'm like, wait, that was an option? I could have just said no. Mr. Charitability over here. Mr. Charitability over here said no to saying a nice thing about Ethan, but I did. All right, dude. All right, dude.
It doesn't feel like any of them are being genuine. It's just because Ian asked them to do it so they could look better.
If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot.
Ian, you have lost the plot. The whole point of Content Cop was to rag on people's actual abhorrent actions and, of course, their content. It was never about discussing your personal beef. It was never about being fake nice just to get brownie points. You were brutal, mean, sure, but at least you were honest. Nothing about this latest Content Cop was honest. It's full of lies, inconsistencies, and you left out a lot just to look better. I think you knew if you kept in certain information, certain people would not look good. You wouldn't look good. But because you hid things from the audience, they found out themselves, and now you look 10 times worse. Why? Because it looks manipulative. And it doesn't help you left in a clip of you crying and talking about your feelings to seem more like a victim in this, or like you're sympathetic to Ethan's struggles when you don't seem to understand the crux of the issue at all. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do understand it, but you definitely don't sympathize, given you went ahead and made this video. I could drone on and on about all of the issues in the recent Content Cop, and I'm sure I could bring up how no one here is morally superior to Ethan given their own dramas and history. I mean, literally nobody mentioned in this video, including Ethan, including Ian, nobody is morally superior. I mean, for fuck's sake, Ian, haven't you called your whole audience the N-word a million times as a joke for ages now? This is like a weird dick measuring contest, except everyone's dick is small and you just happen to have the largest among the small dick squad. It doesn't mean your dick is big, you still got a small penis. Now, for those wondering, just because I watched Ethan's video, it doesn't mean I'm taking what he said at face value. That said, it's unfair of me not to point out that you didn't mention the reason he was so mad at Denims when he said those things. I'm not saying that Ethan's totally in the right in every aspect, but I'm saying I can understand the anger. As for whether or not it's true, I can open one of his podcasts and watch it for myself, literally at any point in time. Whereas a few of your claims are, just trust me bro, moments. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to say regarding this. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.
And I've never said this unironically, but I think this will be the first time I actually say it unironically and mean it. Kill yourself.